I remember my eyes were like almost about to cry.
There was a hint of embarrassment, to be quite honest.
I realized that my silence was not protecting me.
It was always a huge concern. Never tell anybody anything.
My parents always told me never to tell anybody that I was undocumented.
So I was always afraid to tell anybody up until that moment. The first person I told that I was undocumented was my high school vice principal. I told him because I had just found out that my dad's court hearing for his residency had been denied. I sort of broke down and I told him.
The very first person that I disclosed my status to was actually a high school friend.
High school was a big challenge for me because while everybody was getting their driver's license or getting jobs, I was like, oh, I can't get that.
I wondered if this was going to question our friendship, actually.
The first person that I told was my 9th grade computer ed teacher, Miss Mitchell. She offered me a summer job. And the first thing that she asked me was for my parents' permission and a social security number, which I didn't have. She looked mad. And I was like, the first thought that crossed my mind was like, oh my God, she's totally going to tell on me. But she was like, I can't believe that, you know, somebody who has so much potential, you know, is not given an opportunity to get papers.
I began to question, like, what am I doing in high school, you know?
Should I even continue high school? Should I graduate?
I should just drop out.
You know, what's the point?
I was really afraid, just because afraid of being judged, mainly.
And I knew about secrets because aside from being undocumented, I'm also queer.
I just needed somebody to know. I needed somebody, even if that person couldn't help me, I just needed somebody else to know who I really was and the identity that I was carrying with me.
I don't ever remember feeling ashamed about being undocumented. My father was deported when I was in 10th grade, and that's when I came to understand what it meant to be undocumented. It was always something that was on my mind. It was always on my horizon, and just rapping about it, making jokes about it, made it all the more bearable.
Coming out as undocumented and queer means owning your narrative.
That I exist, that I'm a person, that I'm here, that my existence is more than a 9-digit number.
Sticking it to the man.
Loving yourself.
Being tired of seeing the injustice that goes on in our community.
Being unafraid.
It's like the boogeyman that's gonna get you. You come face to face with it and it's gone.
It means love for myself, for my identity, for my community.
When you are in the shadows or in the closet, you're alone.
But once you express yourself and you become active in the community, there's this liberation and empowerment.
Coming out as undocumented is really liberating. You never know who will be your biggest supporter. And also it forces people to see us and to recognize that we're here.